For supplies, I've got something to write with, stapler, and 6 pages of paper. It doesn't matter if they're the same or different colors. What does matter is that you space them out like a fan, kind of. So you're going to give yourself around 1 inch of space at the top. Doesn't have to be exact. And you're letting yourself build from there. So I've got some space here with the yellow to orange. And I'm going to add the pink one in. About 1 inch lower from the orange one. And then green, purple, blue. So when I'm done, I'm going to pick it up and kind of tap so that they're all lined up. So I tapped it on the side. And then you're actually going to flip it over. So you've got the front page is really long. And I've got all these lined pages. And whoop, I need to tap again. I guess you don't technically have to flip it over, because that's really up to you. Anyway, what I'm going to do is with this nice long page here, this nice long page, I'm folding that so that it matches the bottom of my top page. So I'm folding this up. Tap one more time. I messed up. So what you're doing is you're giving yourself lots of little places to write. And when you're ready, see I've got those 2 colors right on top of each other? When you're ready, they're all lined up at the bottom, it feels good. You're just going to crease that line. And I'm actually going to take my writing utensil and push it smooth so it's easier for me. Okay. When that's done, this edge is going to get 3 staples. One in the center, nice and close to that top edge. So you want to keep as much writing spot as possible. See, it's about a fingernail's width apart, maybe. 2, 3. So I'm going to turn it around. There's my front. Flipped around, my back is nice and smooth, it's one color. There's my front. If I look at the center, right, so I might even want to fold all my pages up. Maybe that's easier. Let's do that. Let's fold all our pages up. You could just fold at the center and save some time. But this could give you a better crease. Notice as you're flipping through, you get more and more page to work with. We're finally at our center. And then you've got this on the other side. Feel free to use your writing utensil or your fingernail to smooth as you go. I know this is not quite a straight line. I'm not too worried about that. If you are, of course, you can mess with it by, instead of worrying about bringing this up, you can pull the other side down a little, straighten it out. And for some of you, it bothers you when things aren't lined up correctly. So do what you've got to do to make it work. What we're doing is creating a spot for questions to go. So now I've got my front, it's got a crease in it. I'm going to just fold it backwards. So I'm going to flip it to the other side and fold it a little bit back in place. I just like that. I think it gives it a little extra something, something. Let's see. Let's start by getting our name at that top corner. You can pick right or left corner, doesn't matter to me, but I would like your name on the front so that I can quickly pass back as needed. And you can quickly identify whose is whose as needed. All right, so that step is over. Now, or when you're ready, you can get some glue or some tape. And I'm going to make sure you get a chart. Looks like this. Okay. So there's a couple steps people can be doing. People can be doing this step, or while you're waiting, you can be writing on your chart. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So if you have the glue or the tape, whatever, then I'm just going to find a spot on the back to put it. At this point, to be honest, it does not matter if you're going to put it in the middle or off to the side. I don't have a big preference. I just need it secure. If you are waiting because you do not have any glue or tape right now, that's totally fine. Sorry, I'm gonna get my edges down. While you wait, you can be writing in the accents. I mean, not the accents, the pronouns. So I did go ahead and finish putting the accents in for you. But we can put in the pronouns. So the yo, this gets, let's see, yo, to, L with an accent, ella, usted, yo, to, L with an accent, ella, usted, yo, to, L with an accent, ella, usted, right? And then the other side, you're gonna get nosotros, nosotras. I'm gonna do that all the way across. Vosotros and vosotras. And then I think I'll go down for this one. It's ellos. Whoops. Gotta fix over here. There you go. Ellos, ellas, ustedes. Ellos, ellas, ustedes. Ellos, ellas, ustedes. And hopefully by the time you've done that, the glue has found its way to you. I just realized that I do that sideways. There you go. That's a better look at that. If you are stuck, the pronouns are all up there. Pronouns are all up there for you. So you have it right in that chart. But I know some of you like to see it right where the endings are. And again, that part is optional. You don't have to do it that way. If you're ready to move on to the writing, which you may not be, and that's fine. Again, take note, I'm writing sideways, so hang on as best you can. What I will tell you is you're going to want to write the questions as close to the edge of each color as you can, so you can see the question. And we're making a study tool, so you'll be able to open it up and put the answer on the same color that the question is on. So you'll get a yellow question, and underneath on the yellow there'll be the answer right there. So your first question, S, is ¿Qué comida compartes tú con un amigo? What food do you share with a friend? So you'll be able to write that answer right there. What food do you share with a friend? I'm going to move it up a little. Your next question. And if I'm going too fast, don't worry, I'll pause at the end before I flip to the next 6. ¿Dónde estás? Watch out for that accent. cuando. Now, normally cuando would get an accent, but the question isn't asking when, it's asking where. So cuando still means when, but because it's not the primary question word, we can leave the accent right off. ¿Dónde estás cuando? Where are you when? Comes la cena, when you eat dinner. ¿Dónde estás cuando comes la cena? Where are you when you eat dinner? Okay, I'm on to the pink one, which, I mean, doesn't have to be your colored pink, it's just the third one down. Okay. Comes para el desayuno. Okay, comes para el desayuno. What do you eat for breakfast? This one is a little longer. It's que necesitas para, see, para 2 times is for, as in like for what purpose. So what do you eat for breakfast? So what are you having for the purpose of breakfast? And que necesitas para, what do you need for? You had that in one of your last exams. Comer el almuerzo. So these questions look very similar, but they're a little bit different. What do you eat for breakfast? What do you need in order to eat lunch? So what do you need in order to eat lunch? You could say my lunch. You could say the foods that you need. You could say that you need money. You could say that you need to go to the cafeteria. You could say that you need to go home. You could say that you need your backpack, because maybe your lunch is inside your backpack. So this question is a lot more open-ended. This one is literally like, what food are you having for breakfast? All right, so we've got a what, where, what, and what. Let's do one where we just go straight to the verb. Let's try bebes. Do you drink? Bebes tú leche en la cafetería o en la clase? Do you drink milk in the cafeteria or en la clase, in class? All right. Here is another one where we're going to use where. ¿Dónde aprendes tú el español? Where do you learn Spanish? Where do you learn Spanish? Probably in Spanish class. But maybe you took a trip to Costa Rica. Or maybe you have been diving into your Quizlet lots and lots. Or maybe you have a family member that speaks Spanish really well and you've been practicing together. ¿Quién sabe? Who knows? All right, so I'm going to move this along a little. If you're not ready, that's okay. You can you come back, and I'm going to separate it in the middle and go to my next set of questions. If you want, you could tuck this behind. I'm going to choose not to for now. We'll see how that goes. I'm working on some darker paper here, like I just did with the ruler, so hopefully you can see my pen. We'll find out. All right, this question kind of has two parts. It's who writes on the whiteboard, the teacher or your friends? So you've got, so I'm gonna write it up higher because it's the start of the next section, so I have room. I planned it that way a little bit. So it's quien, accent on the E, escribe en la pizarra. Remember, in some places that's a chalkboard, but pizarrón is also chalkboard, so we just use pizarra for whiteboard. And then I'm going to add a caveat here. Is it la maestra, the teacher, o tus amigos? So if you're going to answer the teacher, the verb can stay the same because she writes. But if you pick the friends, if you pick your friends, you're going to say mis amigos escriben because it becomes they. Watch out for that. Alrighty, the next one down is who shares the pizza? And because there are people sharing, we're making the assumption there's more than one person. So we're actually going to make it quienes, still that accent on the E, but we've made it plural, quienes, quienes. And we're going to keep the verb in the plural too, so comparten. Who shares the pizza? Who are they that are sharing the pizza? Who are they? There must be multiple people, right? Quienes comparten la pizza. All right. This next one has a time trigger in there. It says siempre, which you know means always. Haces la tarea. Do you always do your homework? I am going to open this green one up. I wrote on the green page. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to write myself a note. I'm going to write myself a note. Here it is. Hacer is irregular, which means it breaks the pattern, in the yo form. Kinda like, sorry, tener. So remember, tener gets tango. So I would like you to write this down. I do want you to write this down. The yo form is yo haga. Yo. Oh, that was wrong. Oh no. Yo hago. Yo hago. So sorry. I jumped into my Spanish 3 subjunctive there for a second. My apologies. Looking for a whiteout. Apparently it's too far away here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So sorry. I could just scribble this out for you, but it's going to bother me. And I have this tool, so I may as well use it. Should be yo hago. Yo hago. My face might have gotten in there for a sec, sorry if it did. Yo hago. So the rest is normal. This part you do not have to write down, but just so as you know, and I'm going to hide this with the purple. It's yo hago, tú haces, él, usted hace, nosotros nosotras hacemos, right? Vosotros, vosotras. I'll have to look that up for you. And then ellos, ellas, ustedes hacen. I think that's normal, but that doesn't look right. While you decide if you're going to write those notes, which you can, but you don't have to, I'm going to go look it up because now I am second guessing myself. Such silliness. It will take but a moment. Give you a break anyway. Your hand might be tired by now. Oh! Of course it looks funny. It's an N instead of an S. Y'all, your teacher's so silly. How did I put that white out? I'm so silly. I bet y'all, and you know, when you're shouting at me right now, you're like, it's an S, it's an S. Such silliness. So H-A-C-E with an accent, I, and then an S. I'll have to put that S in there in a second. All right, so sorry. Next question. Moving on up. We're going to change the format of the questions a little bit. We're going to do with whom. So con quien, with who, with whom. Con quien escribes. You ready for some long words? After that little break. Here we go. You've seen these before. Don't let them panic you. Correos electrónicos. Accent on that first O in electrónicos. Okay, two more. You've got a when question. So I talked about this a little earlier. Now the when is the primary question. So that accent's going to go on the A. Cuando escribes los apuntes. When do you write notes? When do you write the notes? So you could say during class, durante la clase, yo escribo los apuntes. Or you could give a time, you know, that kind of thing. They want to know when. During the school day, in a specific class. The last one is a why question. Now remember, por qué, when it's shoved together, maybe I'll open this up and give you some notes. Here, this is really easy. Por qué, when it's shoved together and there's no accent, means because. But when there's a question, it becomes two words and that E gets an accent. It means why. So I used to drive my Spanish teacher, my friend Monica, and I used to drive our Spanish teacher crazy with things like por qué, por qué, por qué, por qué. Why? Because. Why? Because. Donde, aquí, where, here. Donde, aquí, where, here. Por qué, por qué. Why? Because. So, por qué, why comes el desayuno? So a why question is always asking for more information, right? So why do you eat breakfast? You could say because it's healthy, because breakfast is nutritious, because I'm hungry. Or you could say, I don't eat breakfast, I don't have time. Or I don't eat breakfast, I don't like it. Okay, so they're looking for a little bit more information than just do you eat breakfast or not. They're asking why. And if you don't, why not? So we'll go over how to answer all of these. This was just to get you set up. So I'm going to pull these into the screen here to view. Hold them still for you. Ooh, hold them still for you for a second. And so now you've got on the bottom, ¿Quién escribe en la pizarra? La maestra o tus amigos. ¿Quiénes comparten la pizza? ¿Siempre haces la tarea? ¿Con quién escribes correos electrónicos? ¿Cuándo escribes los apuntes? ¿Por qué comes al desayuno? Who writes on the board, the teacher or your friends? Who shares the pizza? Do you always do your homework? With whom do you write emails? When do you write notes? Why do you eat breakfast? In the front, we've got ¿Qué comida compartes tú con un amigo? What food do you share with a friend? ¿Dónde estás cuando comes la cena? Where are you when you eat dinner? Like, are you home or at a friend's house or in a restaurant or whatnot? ¿Qué comes para el desayuno? What do you eat for breakfast? ¿Qué necesitas para comer al almuerzo? What do you need in order to be able to eat lunch? ¿Bebes tú leche en la cafetería o en la clase? Or do you drink milk? Do you drink milk in the cafeteria or in the classroom? And this is another one where you can say, oh, I don't drink milk because I don't like it. Or I don't drink milk because I don't have any. Or I don't drink milk. I don't know. All kinds of reasons. But you can either answer the question or you can add on to it by adding the why if you say no. And then, ¿dónde aprendes tú el español? Where do you learn Spanish? Okay. So I've made this handy dandy study guide, haven't I? Here you go. You got it. Okay. Beautiful. Hasta pronto.